God freaking dang. Back here home with all our sisters. So, anyway, today, what we're going to be tackling here is we got to get some brakes on this thing. The brakes don't feel that good, and I've always been told if you buy a new vehicle, different vehicle, and you don't know when the last time the hoses were done, when the last time the actual pads were done, calipers, any of that, kind of just go through the brake system and replace a decent amount of stuff. And that's what we're going to do today. We're going to get calipers replaced, rotors, wheel bearings, pads. I got rear wheel cylinders. I'll show you all the stuff I got out here. There's Butters, the cat, the neighborhood cat. Say what's up, Butters. Huh? Yeah. Anyway, I went down to Summit. Are you going to check these things out? Jesus. I went down to Summit, got these drilled and slotted rotors. Butters likes the box. They were like 140 bucks for both of them. Came with races in them, no bearings or anything, no seal in the back. But for 140 bucks, not bad for both. So I ended up buying this Timken wheel bearing or wheel seal. That's part number 8871. Your rear wheel bearings for the back part of the rotor, thank you Butters for smashing the camera, is SET-6 or just SET6, set 6. The front wheel bearings on these, I had to go to a different, or I had to go to like AutoZone to get these because I got the wrong ones. This is an A34. This is for your base model cars. So if you had like an IROC, maybe WS6 or something like that, like, you know, so if you had a base model Firebird, you know, RS Camaro, anything base, has a smaller bearing up front. Your actual bigger bearing for the, like IROCs, like they call it the performance suspension package, is 8-3. So make sure you remember that. Luckily these are cheap, but I'm still gonna return those when I get the chance. I ended up buying these Dorman, part number W37647, these rear wheel cylinders for the drums, some front pads, new hoses, maybe I think I bought a new rear hose also. So some bearing grease, I bought some brake fluid, and also what we're going to be doing today is I bought this part because this rear fuel line in the back has never been changed. They updated this to a stainless braided, and they give you the actual line. It was like 55 bucks. So this part number looks like it is, who makes this anyway? Does it say on the box? Okay, here you go. It's part number is FGL8204SS. If you look at fuel line, fine lines, that's who makes it. So I'm gonna maybe take you under there and show you that line to kind of see what I'm talking about. Climb up on under here. But if you actually look, see that line right there with the fitting on it? See how old that looks? The line going into it looks okay, but I'd rather just replace it because that goes down to the filter, and who knows how, you know, swelled up that rubber line is. So might be a little bit of a pain, but I think we'll be able to get it. So we're gonna try to tackle that also. But yeah, all our lines look okay as far as the metal lines, so we're just gonna do hoses and see what it does, or see how she acts. But I'm gonna go pick up calipers once I get these off so I can have the core charge and everything, because the calipers, the Duralast ones at AutoZone, are $30 a piece. You can't beat that. Like, you can't just not replace your calipers for that price, I feel like. So we're gonna do that. So I'm gonna get these wheels off and get the front brakes off. Probably do the drum brakes last. All right, so realistically, I guess we can just start by maybe we'll spray down our line here, but I think it's gonna hopefully come loose. It looks like this car's pretty clean. We'll take our line off, let our juice kind of pour out of there, because I like to try to get as much how you say of the old brake fluid out of there, just because it just doesn't look very good to me as far as color wise. And we'll get our caliper off, and then we'll get our cover off for our actual spindle here to get our bearings out and everything like that. Like, this rotor looks pretty good. Doesn't look bad, but like I said, the pedal's just junk, and I don't know the last time these calipers were ever been replaced, so might as well do them while we're here. So if my memory is correct, these slide pins or whatever they are on these calipers are 3/8, a 3/8 hex socket. So make sure you get that. Seems like they might have had grease on them at one point in their life, because there's some stuff stuck to them. Now you could realistically clean these pins up, but they're gonna come, the new caliper is gonna come with some new ones anyway, so. Yeah, this thing's old, man. Who knows if this line's ever even been done, especially with this rubber boot piece on it. Looks gold and newer, you know, it doesn't look super old. Very hard to say though. So I'm gonna get our line off here. I'll probably get something under here to catch the fluid, just so it doesn't go all over the driveway. There we go. I think we're gonna have to get a wrench on that upper part. Doesn't seem that loose, so I'm gonna cut this hose because we already have a new one, because I am going to heat this up. I'm going to heat this line up, because if you keep these connected and you I mean, look how junky that fluid looks coming out of there. If you keep these connected and heat them up too much, they will explode in your face. Okay, all that grease from 35 years is coming off of there. There we go. Just can't be afraid of it. Like I said, this car's pretty clean, so these lines aren't all really grody, to be honest with you. And this fluid just looks dark and brown and like it's never been changed. Probably realistically hasn't. That brake fluid will break down over time, people, and you get a junky pedal with you got really weak fluid. Careful with your brake fluid, because it will take your paint off. Yeah, it's about time to do these pads anyway. They almost, well, that one doesn't look bad. This inner one looks like it was dragging a bit. Maybe keep your clips around. Sometimes you need them. You never know. There we go. Calipers off. Let that guy kind of, I'm just gonna keep letting this line drip here. We'll leave this bracket here. You gotta get this upper piece off of here. Pull this guy out of here. There we go. Yeah, it doesn't look like it was, sometimes you'll see over the years, these will kind of like start to swell up inside. Doesn't really look like it did, but like I said, you'd rather do it than not and have issues down the line. So I guess let's see if we can get this rotor cap off. I do have this. It's pretty ridiculous, but I think it'll slide in between there. Please give me a spot for the flathead. Still the old taper bearing in there, or the they're all taper bearings, but the actual how you say, the plastic bearing. I'll show you once I get it out. Get our pick in here, walk our cotter pin out. Just enough to get our flathead in it. There we go. Kind of try to save that because I don't know if the one comes with it. Yeah, this is kind of loosey-goosey. Not a lot of play back and forth though, so that's good. I mean, you want this to not be tight, obviously, down on there. I always just kind of take my cap, get these guys off of there. Pop that in the cap. And then you just take your, once you get that nut off, you take your rotor and pop it on out of there. And, oh, there's our little plastic. This is what I was talking about, our plastic inner bearing. Looks like it's a little squishy. Definitely wore down. Usually when they get loose like that and squishy. What is this thing? Made in Canada. It is a Timken, so I'm not too sure if these came with Timkens from the factory. You gotta keep this washer because you are going to need it. And then we'll wipe all this old grease off of here, and we'll pack our, I'll show you how to pack your new bearings. We're going to wipe all this old grease off so we can put new grease on. You want to kind of check this spindle for damage and stuff like that. I don't really see any, which is good. And kind of move on. All right, y'all, so I got you kind of set up in here on the table. I tried to make a little bit of room. Don't look at the mess. You know you guys are all like that. Don't judge me, okay? Anyway. Oh yeah, some nice fresh grease. So, we're gonna do our back bearing first, because you wanna get this in there before you drive your seal in. So, like I said, you got a Timken, part number SET6. This comes with a race, but we already have a race installed. We'll pop this guy in there, make sure he fits, which he does. And what you're pretty much gonna do, I'm gonna set this guy right here. You're gonna take your hand. This is on YouTube everywhere, and this has been gone over millions of times, but I'm just going to do it here just because maybe some of you are new, maybe not, whatever. I do it the old-fashioned way, just put a glob in my hand and pack it like that. They have tools for it, you could buy one, but this works just as good. Take a big glob, bam. Smack it on your hand. Make sure you get high temp grease. That's what this is. Doesn't matter if you touch anywhere with the bearing. Just kind of take your hand, scrape it against your palm. Just keep going around. My shop teacher always told me, once you start to see it come out of this top groove here, that's how you know it's good, but I always go around a bunch of times. Doesn't matter, trust me. The more grease, the better. Alright, that's pretty much packed. I'm going to set this guy right here. We're going to take some of this and shove it on the inside of here. Let's get that inside coated with grease, like that. What you probably want to do before you waste this grease is get your other bearing out of the box and just kind of grease that one too. So I'm gonna try to take this glove off, hopefully not drop any grease. Open this box up. This one also comes with a race, even though it's a national. The Timkens, I think, say they're made in oh, no. This seal's made in Taiwan. This one's made, the bearing's actually made in USA. I think these nationals are made in Taiwan also. Thailand, not Taiwan. whatever. All right, let's take our little bearing here, grease it up too. Just do a scraping motion and it'll come up through that top. That thing's loaded. Like I said, they make tools for this, but so you're going to take your greasy hand, pop your bearing in there. So we're going to wipe this grease off on this outer part here. Oh geez, don't want to be slicking this anywhere. Yeah, it'll be all right. Going to take our seal. I don't think I have a socket that's big as this thing, but I always just kind of start it. You could get a piece of wood, I guess. I think I have one right here. A little square piece. Kind of try to not get chips of wood in there. Even this out. Oh, look at that. Thing freaking popped out of there on me. Hear all that kind of change noise? I just like to go around like that. I think what we're going to do now is get some grease, take it out to the spindle, and just kind of wipe it on there. Get this guy nice and lubed up here. Take our new rotor here. We got too much grease on there. I don't think there is such thing as too much, but there we go. Oh. Yeah. Good. Beautiful, beautiful. Alright, so you're going to take your front bearing and just kind of push them on in there. Going to push some grease out of that center. There we go. Oh. Gonna wipe off our race here. It only goes one way. There's a little like tooth on it, kind of. Our nut will wipe off a bit. We're gonna spin him all the way on. There's like a little procedure, I guess, or everybody's different on how they do these. I like to take them, spin them here. Spins pretty good. What did I, here it is. I like to take this thing all the way down till it's tight. Still spins pretty good. Oh geez, how'd we get all that out of there? Then I like to back this off, just so those bearings are kind of packed in there. Yeah, there's a little bit of back and forth play. We're gonna go till we don't really hear that anymore. Then we'll go to the cotter pin hole, wherever the heck that is. Here it is. Spins pretty good. No play back and forth. I got a new cotter pin, but I think it's kind of long. So we're gonna cut that a little bit. Bend these guys around the nut, and there you go. Take your little cap here, maybe try to clean out the old grease out of that too. And then we're gonna put some new grease in here and pop this on there. I don't know if this exhaust piece is too big. Probably better than hitting the front of it.
Yeah, definitely better than hitting the front of it. So I'm gonna go over to the other side, do the same thing, and then we'll go get the calipers and then slap all this together. Well, I was gonna do a little cool transition here, but look at that friggin' bearing, and something got moisture in there, man. That ain't good. Hopefully we can maybe find a cap for this thing. Ugh. I hope our spindle's okay. Alright, y'all. I actually wiped off our spindle here, and it looks like it's gonna be okay. So that's good. Yeah, that fluid's grody. Yeah, hopefully it starts to get out of there. We'll try to clean that the best we can. Alright, y'all, so I sucked all that out with a turkey baster. Put that down in there and kind of wiped this thing out. So now I'm just gonna pour some fresh fluid in here. Try to get some of that junk out of there. Look at all that crud in there. Definitely don't want that in your lines. I'm gonna try to just go slow with our pedal here. Push it down and try to push some of that fluid out. Oops. You don't want to hammer this thing because it will overflow that. Try to get some of that old junk out of there. Which it looks like we might have pushed some clean fluid through it, so that'll be good. Alright, y'all, we're back, and here's our calipers. Hopefully that's just oil seeping out of there. Anyway, these look like they've been painted. Hopefully Duralast did that, and they're not used. Anyway, I bought a new dust cap because this one's all grody inside. So I'm gonna fill this guy with some grease, shove them on there, and oops, get these calipers on. Spray off our face because they always put a little bit of oil on these rotors when they're shipping them. Give them a good spray, give them a good wipe. I always just spray the rag when it's on the back and grab one of these nuts, hold it on there, or these studs, and spin it around. I gotta check to see which hose is which. Dorman H38252 is our front right, which is your passenger side. So we're gonna be using this side, this one on this side, obviously. All right, we got that thing kind of started finger tight. Try to slide our clippy dippy in here. Yeah, so like I said, remember, keep your clips because it doesn't seem like sometimes they give them to you. I'm gonna try to slide this guy up on in here if we can. I've had this disc brake grease for a while, so I'm just gonna kind of see that this makes contact with the caliper here, and this pad makes contact with the caliper here. So I'm just gonna put a little dab of grease on there just to kind of maybe get away from any type of noise possibly. All right, so that piston wasn't in there all the way. That's nice. I was wondering why the heck this wouldn't go the frick on there. Let's get our bleeder up top. Slide this guy up on in here, maybe, if we're not illiterate. Okay, I don't know what I'm doing, obviously. Jesus. All right, we're gonna give our pins a little greasy do. We're gonna tighten these guys up. If we can get the socket in there, that'd be nice. Now we gotta try to squeak on in here and get our hose installed. Alright. Well, that side's done, so I'm gonna go pop the driver's side on. Well, you guys, we got the driver's side on, but not after some confusion. See how this caliper looks like this? Let's go over to the passenger side. See how this caliper looks like that? So This one looks pretty good, but that other one I had looked like the same as this. I had to go back to AutoZone and get another caliper because I'm pretty sure that the other one they gave me was remanufactured. Maybe that other one is, but this one's like brand new. And I couldn't get, for the life of me, get the pad with the caliper on the rotor. So I said, screw it. Went and exchanged it. And the guy's like, gotta try to be nice to these people at the counter, but sometimes they really aggravate me. But whatever. He swapped it out for me anyway. So we got it on. So something that should have taken me 10 minutes took me 45. So that's great. Anyway, I'm gonna, I don't know, probably pour some fluid in here and maybe try to get some fluid out of this out of these calipers. At least dripping out of there. Well, y'all, I was out here pretty late last night. We got all our brakes done. We got our new lines on. I didn't get that fuel line on yet, but my mom just got here. She's gonna help me bleed these brakes. We're gonna try to get some fluid through this thing, so hang tight. Whew. All right, Mama helped get those brakes bled. Took me a while to get some fluid from the back. This fluid still stayed pretty dirty. Oh, geez. Still stayed pretty dirty. So I kept sucking it out with the actual, with a turkey baster, getting all the clean or dirty fluid out, trying to get some clean in there. And I actually got some decently looking fluid in the back, and same thing up front. So I got all our wheels back on. I got to get it back on the ground. We'll go around and torque them. And I think we're gonna go take this thing for a ride and see how she does. GoPro probs. I don't even know what's going on with this seat here. See if we can get the heck out of the driveway finally. Watch the trash cans. I'm gonna tell you right now, brakes already feel 10 times better. Gotta pull up in the grass here. You know, we gotta be safe. What's it saying? I don't know how to say it. Rather have it and not need it than need it and not have it. Right? I think so. Safety first again with the seatbelt, even though this thing's floppy. Let's go on cruise. I'm going to my buddy's right now for a workout. So we're gonna see if this thing will make about a 15-minute drive. I think I've drove it that much before. Hopefully it doesn't let me down today. Still very weird driving a 3-speed. Brakes might need to be bled a little bit more. Kind of like putting this thing in neutral to stop. Brakes work pretty good. I didn't even slam them. I hope it doesn't rain, because we have no wipers. And this mirror keeps moving. Oh. A little lock up on the brakes. Huh. Maybe we got a little bit of fluid on the rotor. Brakes feel somewhat okay, but I'll tell you right now, they may need to be bled a little bit more, but those rear shoes and drums didn't look that good to me, but maybe we'll replace those since we already got new wheel cylinders. I don't know. The future will tell. Don't know my speed limit either. We're just cruising. remember, kids, it's only illegal if you get caught. I mean, realistically, I drove this thing from my grandma's to my house, and that's about, I'd say, the same exact length. Seems like it's doing okay. Wish I need an RPM gauge. That's really what I need. Oh, jeez. I'll just tuck that back down in there. Think the cigarette lighter works? I don't want to know. Ah. Got good oil pressure. We got coolant temp staying at about 160, 170, so that's pretty good. Oh, big bump. You know, if this door wasn't so junky, I think that it would, I would think that this thing would have a lot less rattles. I like my things to be reliable, you know. I may spend a little extra money on certain things, but I learned something from a guy that I used to work with who told me, you know, if you get something new and you don't know when the brakes were done, the hoses, the calipers, if you want it to be reliable and you don't have to worry about it, just do everything so that you know it's new. And then if something does fail, well, you know, hopefully your new stuff doesn't fail, but you know the type of world we live in now. But most likely you have a better chance of it not failing on you and then you getting stuck somewhere. We didn't even tie up our transmission lines yet, but yeah, that would take a very long time for those to rub through. Like we're going on a you know, 1,000-mile trip here. We ain't vice gripping it here, okay, people? We're just cruising. Me personally, I think this thing shifts into third gear a little too soon. I don't know if you can change that. Like I said, it realistically should be off a vacuum, but I don't know if that modulator, if you can change that. I still have to talk to my transmission guy and see what he says, because I have no knowledge of that, and he definitely would. Okay, well, there's a good test for the brakes right there. Just somebody being a complete idiot and just road hazard. You can clearly go around it. So you have to pay attention when you're driving, people. Just pay attention. See, it's like kind of like, to me, like the engine doesn't know that, you know, what gear it's in or what it's doing. So it's like kind of hard, I feel like, for it to downshift. It just stays in third gear until you almost stop. So it's kind of like, I don't know, like I said, if that's something to do with the actual torque converter itself. Oh, we're going. Got a yellow light here. We're going. It feels like the pedal's at about, I'd say maybe halfway, But I mean, it is stopping partial of the way. So, and you know, the thing about it is the price you pay for, you could probably get some drums and stuff like that pretty cheap as far as drums and, you know, shoes go. But realistically, the smartest thing that we could do for this thing would be to, you know, do a rear disc setup on, you know, as far as like a 4th gen goes. We could go to the junkyard and maybe find a, you know, late 90s Camaro like the 99 I have, and use the calipers off that, because most of those, all those, the 98s to 02s came with rear discs. And we can maybe almost, we could just make our own lines from one to the other, because I'm pretty sure they're different. So that might be our best case scenario. I used to have the brackets, but I had some, didn't think I was getting another 3rd gen, and sold them. I made 150 bucks off of them, I think, which kind of stinks. I thought I had some in the back. Maybe I do. I swear, maybe I swear I had an extra set. I don't know, I have to look, but I don't think so. I can't believe how much his seat's falling apart over here. The back seat's in good shape, I think. Yeah. Little tear on one spot, but man, if this thing had, you know, decent front seats, this interior's pretty mint. I mean, I messed up this one spot losing that thing, but it just needs to be cleaned, and it's in good shape. Someone already pinned up the headliner, but that's okay. They did an okay job. I think, like they said, this thing was from Arkansas. Who knows if it was garaged or what. I'm gonna guess from the crack on the dash it wasn't. But hey, I'll take it. For 230,000 miles, that's what this odometer says. It's not bad. Steering wheel's not too bad. It's weird, very weird. I mean, dude, you can't even feel this transmission shift. It's crazy. All right, y'all, we made it. So I'm gonna go in here and work out, and I'll see you in a bit. Hopefully nobody steals it. All right, y'all, so we made it back. No problems, no issues, which is good. Still weird driving a 3-speed, but either way, unfortunately, probably this is where we're gonna have to end this video, because just run out of time. Didn't get to get that fuel line in, but we'll do that at a later date, because I'd like to see if that will change the actual fuel pressure at that rail, because that line looks really old. I think what we're gonna do next is, on this driver side, probably in the next video, see how it's like different? It's kind of beat up. Someone put this door and I think fender on maybe, and tried to like paint it some type of white. Did a very bad job, if you ask me. So I mean, if you come to this passenger side and look, the passenger side's pretty decent. I mean, this car's, like I said, it's a clean car. It's just dirty. It's got some nicks. The clear coat's peeling on the top, but we're not really too worried about that. You know, it needs to be cleaned. And if I take you over here, what I did end up trying to do, I found like a can of paint in, you know, AutoZone, and that's kind of what it is right there. I don't know if you could really see that or not. You see that's a different shade. I want to see if we clean this, if it's going to be somewhat close. It looks like it's a little bit closer, but it does look a little bit better. So we realistically may try to do that. I'll clean the car, see what we can do, and maybe I'll go through here and try to see if I can find the paint code on this and maybe get the actual paint color. Like I said, it doesn't have to be perfect. We just want it to be somewhat decent, because this driver's side, looks like junk to me. So maybe stick around for that. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Leave a like, leave a comment, hit that subscribe button, and hopefully we'll have some more content coming out here for you. Leave a comment if you like that or what you'd like to see with the Firebird. I'm trying to get out to a track day, but unfortunately there's no test and tunes until like, I think it was like June 14th or something like that. So kind of sucks because I thought there was going to be one today, because today is Friday and usually they are on Friday, but looks like there's a bunch of events going on and stuff like that, so that kind of sucks. But maybe we'll try to do some stuff in the meantime. Definitely going to try to get some paint laid on this thing just to make it, like I said, somewhat decent. But thanks for coming, thanks for watching, take it easy.